coming in for the whole game or just during it? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. 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 Testing, testing. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Testy, test. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
I don't mind getting affection at the time. For dinner last night. Something they, I guess, you're going to be punished. You see the football game. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the field. Lieutenant Division 231 and welcome to the grand final. Tamworth School, as the team were appointed. Afternoon everyone, welcome to the Tamworth District Women's Division 2 Grand Final here at the picturesque Scully Park. Today's lineups, we have Tamworth FC, their captain Belinda Couples, and goalkeeper Chantel Corby, Lauren Jeffrey, Mary Deekman, Kerry Harris, Kayla May, Shanty Kennedy, Rakita Morgan, Sky Nicholson, Jean Blair O'Regan, Tash Harris, Sarah Foster, Amanda Horn, Hannah Hegarty. They're coached by Ian Slater and their manager, Wayne May. Tingle Pinks. We have Crystal Pike in the number 1 goalkeeping jersey, Jordan Donnelly, Hayley Barber, Candida Self, Indiana Dis, Danielle Bishop, Tamika Fruin, Alana Faulkner, Acacia Duxbury, Caitlin Burgess, Nikita Burgess, Miller Thompson's their captain, Claire Sullivan, Isabel Bukovac, Jessica Froud, Shayla Groth, Isabella Johnson. They're coached by Tony Taylor and Caitlin Self. I'm joined in commentary today by Mr. Peter Haynes. How are you, Peter?
Hey, great to be back, Phil. What a cracking day for football today. I thought yesterday was a good day to be here watching football, but I think you've turned on an even better one today for the girls. Well done.
Isn't it a magnificent day? Like, there's not a cloud in the sky. It's not too hot. Yeah, perfect conditions. The girls won't be used to these. Having their grand final back on Scully Park is quite exciting for Tamworth. Yeah, this is going to be a real enjoyable contest here in the second division.
Yeah, it sure is, and there's a couple of obviously a couple of different factors for the girls to cope with today. Obviously, the crowd that you get with the grand final. I'm sure a few of the girls will have had to deal with that before, but we're just talking off camera. It's quite a big pitch. I think we're talking in the vicinity of 110 metres long, which is, I suspect, something the girls haven't had to deal with before. And obviously, the quality of the surface isn't going to be a hurdle for the quality of football. It's only going to make it a little bit better. So, looking forward to it.
Yeah, we certainly are. And there's the kick-off of play. You see the Kootingal Pinks. They're running from our left to right. The ball just broken down by Tamworth FC. See a throw in from the Pinks. Here we go. Here we see a bit of a break by the Pinks down on the right-hand side. So over the last few years, Pete, I've certainly seen the standard of women's football really elevate in our region. From a northern New South Wales perspective, where you work, how important is the development of the women's game in our region?
Yeah, you're dead right, Phil, and it's absolutely vital to not just the growth of football in Tamworth or in northern New South Wales, but across the country and even across the globe. You see the Matildas and the success that they're having, the media coverage that they're attracting through players like Sam Kerr especially. It's an absolute priority for northern New South Wales to make sure that there's opportunities for girls to play with and against their friends, and good quality of football, whether that's with boys or with girls. So we're working really hard, as is all our member zones and all the other member federations across the country, to make sure that happens. And you're exactly right. The quality of community girls football that we've seen over the last couple of years has gotten a lot better. And I think some of that quality has got to do with just simply the number of girls who are playing and the opportunities that they're having. So at the moment, we're sitting at about 24% of our football population being girls, but we know that's not good enough. We want upwards of 25% and even 50% or more of our football population being girls, and I don't think that's unrealistic.
Here we see a bit of a breakaway from Tamworth FC down the right-hand side. That play's killed by the Pinks pretty quick. That ball stayed in play. Yeah, we'll see how Kootingal handle the first attacking raid from Tamworth. That's stuffed out by the backs and straight to the keeper. Both these clubs involved today, Tamworth FC, they've very strong club here in Tamworth in women's football. They've always been represented in the finals, and ever since the last 3 years in the split to first and second division football, they've always been well represented. Growing in numbers, there are approximately 260 numbers as a club, and I know women are taking up about 12% of their numbers. And then on the flip side, Kootingal, one of the larger clubs in Tamworth, they're at approximately 420 players, and I know that their numbers is about 35% female. So that in itself certainly speaks volumes for both these two teams today.
Yeah, and it just goes to show what a great job both clubs are doing, and they're not the only clubs in in the Tamworth and Northern Inland region that are really making sure that the girls are a part of their club, not just on the park but off the park, whether it's coaching or volunteering. But it's important that girls know that they are a part of football. They're no longer treated like second-class citizens within the club. And these two clubs especially are making sure that that's not happening, and they're reaping the rewards.
Yeah, we see the play. It's still very much Tamworth FC on the attack. We see that ball go past the byline down for a goal kick. See that goal kick taken by Crystal Pike. Tell you what, this crowd's certainly building here. We've got quite a large crowd here for the women's, and I can only see it getting bigger today. Our first grade game in the women's match between Tamworth FC and North Companions.
You're right there, Phil. There's a lot of purple in the crowd just down in front of us. The Kootingal club are really well represented today, hoping for a win for the Pinks. And they've been quite vocal early on. Good to see.
Well, their pink side's actually their third side in the competition. Their purple side go through to the major semi in first grade. They're unfortunately knocked out by by North Companions last weekend in a tight encounter, but the Pinks got up over North Companions' second side, and you see an attack. Shut out. Yeah, the Pink side did it the hard way. They came from fourth position. They had an exciting encounter last weekend. But yeah, as we can see, they're certainly up to the challenge today. Here you see Miller Thompson, the captain, make a break down the right-hand side. Shut out well by Tamworth FC defenders.
You can see with the size of this pitch field that it's going to be really suited today. They're going to the team that can identify and get the ball into the space in behind the fullbacks. Tamworth FC looking like they're playing with three at the back, which is going to leave a lot of spaces, especially in those two wide channels. Kootingal with the more traditional four at the back, but as you can see, there is so much space in between the 18-yard box and the high line that Kootingal are playing at the moment, and it'll be interesting to see if either side can capitalise on that space.
Certainly see the energy levels decline over the end of this game with the size of the pitch. It was certainly evident in our men's Premier League and first grade derbies last night. But they were both energy zapping games, and I think with this beautiful day, while there's a breeze blowing, I certainly think it'll be no different for the women.
Yeah, for those people watching at home who may not have played or may not have played at this level, it's really deceiving how much of a difference an extra 5 or 10 metres on the length of a field can play to see an attack here. The difference that can make on the players, both physically and with their fluidness of passing and things like that. It really does throw you out a little bit, and sometimes it takes a little bit of time just to get yourself into the game and get your bearings a little bit.
Even not just with the girls, but our poor match officials. I was speaking to a number of them last night. They said they've never had the calf muscles burn like that before. Here we see an attack by the Pink. Here we go. And there's a goal to the captain, Miller Thompson.
The Purple Army goes wild just down in front of us. They take the lead 1-0. It was a fantastic cross. It didn't have a lot of pace on the cross out from the left-hand side, but it was really well angled in. Made it a difficult situation for the goalkeeper and the defender there. Unfortunately, the goalkeeper, Tamworth FC, couldn't quite wrangle it in, and the Kootingal player was Thompson, was it? Bill.
Yeah, Miller Thompson scoring
Miller Thompson was on her toes. She was composed enough just to keep her bearings and stuck it in the net for a 1-0. Great start for Kootingal.
Yeah, definitely, Pete. This pink side's very well known for their pace up front. Both Miller and Tamika Fruin playing in the striking roles. They are very quick-paced, and be interesting to see how FC try to hit back. FC, this reserve grade side, are known to they play for the full 90 minutes, so Kootingal will need to stay on their toes if they want to keep that lead. There we go, Jordan Donnelly playing cross ball that's deflected from Tamworth defender. We'll see that go out for a corner.
We always say when especially in big games and grand finals, obviously being a big game, it's important to capitalise on the good patches you have in matches and make sure that when you're on top, you capitalise. And Kootingal have done just that. They've had a really good patch of possession here, and they've taken the only chance that they've pretty much had so far and put it in the net. A great start that I'm sure their coach Ian Slater will Tony Taylor will be really, really happy with.
Yeah, Tony will be impressed, and I mean, one thing people need to be very mindful of for this pink side, they are a bunch of very young girls. They, majority of them play in our junior competition and then back up in the women's in the afternoon, so they're known to be playing back-to-back football, so usually any given Saturday they're playing 2 hours of football. Wow. So they may well be season hardened for this fixture. We see Tamworth FC on the attack. It's well shut out by the defence of the Pinks. We see Tamika Fruin on the attack, one-on-one. She just didn't quite hit that one right.
Yeah, she'd probably like to have that one again. Just didn't catch it. You could see what she was trying to do, opened the body up and tried to bend it around into that far corner. Didn't quite catch it right and it dribbled into the goalkeeper. But again, signs that the Kootingal are very, very dangerous on that transition, especially on the counter-attack. Tamworth need to be on their toes.
Well snuffed out by Jess Froud. See across.
Phil, we might be about to see something I've not seen in a long, long time. This coach, Tony Taylor, looking like he's about to make 4 changes at once.
Yeah, Pete. It's funny you say not something you would have seen too often. It's something that's quite frequent for women's football up here in Tamworth. The coaches are known to make multiple changes and the girls tend to work well together. And I dare say Tony's made those changes just to be very mindful of, the heat, the conditions and the length of the pitch. And we've seen that change after only 12 minutes.
Yeah, well, it's good thinking. I just had a bit of a picture in my mind about the ice hockey or something when you change teams over and get some fresh legs on there. So maybe a tactic we might see a little bit more of through this game, especially in these hot conditions. You need to, whether it's coming across on the footage, I'm not sure, but the temperature down on the pitch, I had a quick walk just before the girls went onto the field for their match. It is quite steamy down there, and it may not look as hot as it is, but I can assure you the sweat's going to be pouring off these girls already. It's going to be quite a difficult day for them.
And we see Miller taking control once again. She's just kicked that one down to safety, but chasing up her own kick.
She's been fantastic so far, Miller. She's been in absolutely everything, and her energy and work rate is rubbing off on some of the younger members of the team.
It certainly is. One of the things I must mention is our match official today, Stephen Golger. He's a fantastic referee. He's one that's worked well with the women this year, and he certainly deserves his position in a grand final. He's very much in control of the game. He's known to a lot of the girls to be one of the most fair referees that they've found, and very balanced game. He'll let things go, but he'll also be very mindful of what the girls will go through.
It's a really good point you make, Phil. That it's not just a big day for the coaches and the players, but it's a big day for the four match officials that we've got here. It's they work really hard throughout the season and making sure that every week they're doing their best to provide a good experience for the players. So big shout out to Stephen and his team for a great season and recognition for their season, obviously being in the middle for the grand final.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Pete. Here we see the pace of Kootingal again being evident. Just had a crack, and there's another goal for the Kootingal side to make it through and hitting one from just the edge of the box.
She's been threatening to do that to me for a couple of times. She was a key in setting up the first goal. She's had a couple of sniffs of goal after that, and you can just see her. She really likes to get in those one-on-one situations. She's cutting in that time on her right-hand side in front of her defender, and she caught the goalkeeper out a little bit there, just at the near post. Just the shot just had too much pace on it, maybe a little bit of swerve as well, and the Tamworth goalkeeper just couldn't get down to her right-hand side quick enough, and it nestled in the bottom corner of the net. 2-0. Fantastic start.
Yeah, Coach Tony Taylor would certainly be happy with that sort of start, especially their last encounter. It was a very high-scoring match. It ended up 7-5.
Wow.
So, which went the way of Tamworth, but Kootingal striking earlier with a couple of goals will certainly keep Coach Slater on his toes.
Yeah, well, Ian Slater and the girls will be a little bit disappointed with the start they've made. I think they can take a little bit of solace in the fact I think Kootingal have only had maybe 3 shots so far, and they've scored 2, so they're definitely not out of the match. It's just a case of Kootingal being absolutely ruthless in front of goal so far.
Absolutely, they are certainly playing the more attacking football at the moment. So a strike there from number 6 from Tamworth FC. One of the points you're making earlier is about with women's football and certainly being recognised. Massive privilege. This morning, one of the girls from the Kootingal Pinks happens to be my daughter, but she was awarded the Kootingal Junior Committee Junior Female of the Year award at the Kootingal presentation this morning. Alana Faulkner, number 5, playing in the backs. Proud father moment, I must say, but. She's been part of this pink side now for a few years, and she'll certainly hold the back line.
How good is that? Congratulations, Alana. Great piece of recognition, obviously doing some fantastic things at her club. And not only a good piece of recognition, but what a time to get it on Grand Final Day.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Here we see Kootingal on the attack again. The FC backline regrouped very well then. That's a lovely ball through there. He has caught her offside.
Yeah, I think the Lions pretty much got that right. It's a good decision. It was a tight call. But Kayla Murray, just you made a comment then. Magnificent pass just in behind the defenders. She's been outstanding for Tamworth so far. She's been in everything that's positive about their play. She's looking to link up between the deeper line midfield and the 2 strikers, and she's looking to face forward at every opportunity, and not just face forward, but carry the ball forward, making life difficult for the Kootingal midfielders.
You certainly see Kayla hold the midfield really, really well with this side.
Thompson again.
Ooh. Nice strike there by Thompson, but Belinda Couples was able to shut that one out with her leg. A nice bit of work from Miller here. Just not firm enough on that cross.
She is absolutely everywhere at the moment, Miller, making life really, really difficult. I think it's for Indiana Dis down on the left-hand side. But Tamworth now have a chance to attack.
Here we go. We see Kayla on the attack. Izzy Bukovac
A really good piece of cover defending there from Kougarettes.
You see Crystal Pike just clear that one out and get it out downtown. You see Tamika, she's chosen to back pass. I may have thought she made a turn and run then. She had a fair bit of space, but open if she had taken that option.
You can really see now the space starting to open up, especially in midfield as the girls deal with the hot conditions and the obviously the large pitch. The middle of the field is going to open up and there's going to be a lot of space, especially for the likes of Kayla Murray, who we've seen quite influential already. She's going to see a lot of the ball and hopefully start to make more of an impact towards goal for her Tamworth FC team.
She certainly controls that midfield well, and yeah, you're right, Pete, as we see it open right up, which quite often happens in women's football. She'll certainly be there holding it. She tends to hold the midfield by herself, which is something quite significant for this side.
Chantel Corby, great little run there.
That's Bukovac once again, just getting that one out, and we'll see it go across the byline for a corner.
Tamworth working their way back into this match nicely. They've weathered quite a severe storm early on from Kootingal. But they're working their way back into the match, getting a bit more possession and looking a little bit more composed on the ball. They didn't look comfortable early on. Maybe a chance to work their way into the game. They look to have done that now, and they're looking to apply a bit more pressure.
Oh, there's a header by Faulkner straight onto the crossbar. Still in play. Well shot out. That's Bukovac again. Sorry, correction. That one was That was Danielle Bishop shutting that one out there, and she's put Tamika Fruin on a run.
A little bit unlucky there, Tamworth. It was a bit of a lucky header that went pretty much straight up in the air. It was looking like it was going to come down in the field of play and make it difficult for the goalkeeper, but it's landed right on the top of the crossbar and come back out, and Kootingal were able to play their way out of danger.
Just seeing more of the crowd piling in, and I've just seen the Tamworth FC winning Premier League side enter. I'd say there'll be a few sore heads there with their coach, Greg Bartlett, but it's great to see them come down and support their women.
Yeah, great match last night. They were victorious in a pretty dominant display. A very handy football side. They looked a bit fresher last night than they do today, but great to see they're coming down and supporting their women's team in their grand final as well.
Absolutely, and now here we see a change by Ian Slater. He's identified the heat, and as I said to you earlier, Pete, there's numerous changes at once, so we see 3 girls leave and 3 come on.
Yeah, fresh legs coming onto the field. Kayla Murray getting a well-deserved rest.
She's been fantastic in the opening 15 minutes in a side that's been dominated.
And it's astute piece of coaching from Tony Taylor. Some viewers might be thinking, she's been one of the best players. Why doesn't he leave her out there? But it's important to make sure that these players are looked after today. It is quite hot. To keep her fresh, let her come over and get a drink, maybe receive some instructions, and make sure that when she is on the field, that she's really fresh and that she's playing at the best of her ability, rather than leave her out there and just let her deal with the heat and get tired and a little bit flat.
Obviously, the local matches are played under the interchange rule as opposed to substitution, so we'll certainly see quite a few during the day.
It's a good tackle there in the middle of the park to come away with the football. Just couldn't quite link up with Miller Thompson on the right-hand side. She might get an opportunity.
There's a nice ball through by Miller Thompson once again.
Just offside, the linesman on the near side had his flag up. Looks like the referee is just going to let the goalkeeper play out from the hands. Good decision, referee.
Yeah, good to keep the game flowing, especially in women's football. We see once again another corner for Kootingal.
great piece of footwork over there on the right-hand side. We don't have number 6 on our match day program. Must have been a shirt problem or something, Phil. We'll try our best to find out who that is. Apologies in the meantime.
Yeah, no, I'm certainly unsure. Not sure why the program. I'm certainly sure she's on the match card, but yeah, not sure why we haven't got her name listed here this afternoon.
Yeah, again, a good piece of play there from Tamworth FC. Kerry Harris just with the shot at the end of that that little combination on the edge of the box. Just put it wide of the near post.
Certainly see Tamworth FC try to control that middle of the pitch. You'll see Kootingal try to branch really wide.
And it's yeah, good observation, Phil. I was just going to mention, I think the Kootingal team are having a lot of success because you can see that too as Miller again.
Once again, I certainly think the length of the pitch is certainly assisting both Fruin and Thompson. They're really starting to get on the back of the defensive line of Tamworth FC, and here we see FC doing exactly that. She's unfortunately tripped over the ball. She could have really put herself one-on-one with the keeper.
It's a really good piece of work. Unfortunately, just tripped on the ball there. But I was just going to mention before, the success that Kootingal are having, in my view, is a lot there. Obviously, the pace of Fruin and Miller Thompson, but they're playing with a lot more width than Tamworth FC at the moment, and they're really identifying those 1v1 situations in those two channels, and they're having a lot of success. Tamworth, on the other hand, are playing a little bit more narrow, and they're looking at trying to dismantle the defence up that central corridor, where Kootingal can get more numbers around the ball, and it's a little bit more difficult to play. So I think it might be something that Ian Slater looks at. As Mr. Troy Harefield just gave me a little shout out there from the successful Tamworth FC team.
That's a beautiful hairdo that Troy's
got some luscious,
decided to throw on his locks.
Some luscious blonde locks. Getting a bit of sunshine after his well-deserved victory. Congratulations, Troy and team.
There's our Premier League winning side. And here we see once again Coach Taylor making his, this time it's a 5-man substitution. So he's certainly been very mindful of how much energy zapping will happen to the girls. I just mentioned number 17 taking the pitch for Kootingal, Shayla Goff. It's her first year in football. She's an ex-netballer. She's done really well this side. She's filled in for a few games for a few different sides. I've been able to watch her play, and be interesting to see how she goes trying to hold the Tamworth FC midfield.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a good first year, isn't it, when you find yourself in a grand final. So well done to her. Good to see her out on the pitch, and hopefully she enjoys her first football grand final.
Thompson's just been caught offside then. She certainly ran a good line as the Kootingal crowd goes up, but I think they'll soon see the centre match official's arm in the air.
Yeah, good call that one. Neil Thompson just playing off the shoulder of the defender, and just went a little bit early with the run. It was a really good finish. To be fair to the Tamworth FC goalkeeper, I think she saw the flag up and was content to let that one in the net, but a great finish regardless. And sometimes, whether you're offside or not, it's good just to hit the back of the net and you get a nice feeling, and that won't hurt Miller's confidence at all.
Certainly want to mention Belinda Couples, the goalkeeper for Tamworth FC. One of the feats that she's achieved today actually is her 100th game in women's football, which it's in its early years here in Tamworth, and that's an amazing feat for Belinda, and she's been a real stalwart for the club, and she's always been there at the back for their side, and fantastic player.
Yeah, congratulations, Belinda. It's a great achievement to play 100 games for any club in any sport, and to do it on grand final days is extra special. She'll be looking forward to a good day. She's been good so far.
She's had to save a number of saves. It's really been Kootingal on the attack. See Jess Froud make a break down the right. Nakisha Bird just hitting that one, but Couples well cleans that one up.
So if you can hear it on the Bar TV coverage, you've got some fighter jets flying overhead. You've organised everything, Phil.
Something very common for Tamworth, but you know, we're obviously affiliated with the Jets, and any time we hear them go over, we certainly think of the Newcastle Jets, both the men and women, and looking forward to fantastic seasons by both teams this year. Speaking of the Jets, Shanti Kennedy, number 10 for Tamworth FC, has just been awarded a scholarship. She'll leave Tamworth FC at the end of the year, and she's off to the Jets, so quite exciting to see Shanti be promoted up into to play for the Jets, and it'll be interesting to see how they use her. She's very well known here in Tamworth, only 16 years old. She's got a bright future ahead of her.
And that's fantastic news, not just for Shanti, but also for great recognition for the club and for Tamworth football in general. You know, making the pathway, you know, obviously known, and the fact that those opportunities do exist for the girls who can get to that level. So, well done, all the best. I'm sure she's got a big couple of years ahead of her and should be excited to get down to Newcastle and test herself against the best of the best.
I'm going to call that an accidental handball, but I'm not sure accidental's the word I'd use for that one. I think this the length of this pitch is certainly tiring the girls, and they needed the break anyway. There you go, Sky Nicholson just making a break up the middle there, putting a ball through. See that one go through, and it'll be a goal kick. You see Shani Kennedy on the attack, and she's hit that one, just missed the post, and we'll see another goal kick.
Yeah, good effort from Kennedy there. She's been dangerous as well in the last 10 minutes or so. She's made a couple of really decisive runs right through the middle, and her pace and strength have been pretty obvious. She'd like to have that one back, I think, but I think she's warming into something today.
It'll be very interesting how Slater uses her today, because Shanti and Sky Nicholson, both being juniors, they're able to play for both sides of Tamworth FC, and they've got the big one in First Division this afternoon, so he might be a bit mindful about how much work they've got to do in this Second Division match. Big Roth up the middle. That's been well shut out by Chantal Corby.
Yeah, I thought she might have had an opportunity just to... Oh, as you see, a fantastic run.
The keeper's been wrong-footed. We'll see a goal here. There's Laura Jeffrey finishing that off nicely.
The Tamworth FC boys are on their feet. Jeffrey with an absolutely phenomenal run down the right-hand side. She's run past 3 or 4 defenders to the Kootingal side. Just wouldn't say die, and her pace got her to the ball and had the composure and the calmness just to get around the keeper and slide it into the back of the net. Fantastic goal.
It was great vision by Jeffrey. She saw that coming. You'll watch on the replay. She's certainly a good 20 metres behind the flow of play, and she could see it coming, so she certainly put herself in great position. Once again, Tamworth FC on the attack. Certainly, so far, this half has been a half of 2 halves, Pete.
It has. Kootingal got off to an absolute flyer. There's 2 goals after registering probably 3 shots, so we're absolutely ruthless. Since then, Tamworth have really got their act together and pretty much dominated the rest of this half. They've been really, really good. You see another attack, the ball just rolling out there. But they have really got themselves together. They're looking dangerous. Playing a little bit narrower than Kootingal upstairs. You see another run from Miller Thompson down in that right-hand channel.
Her pace has just been something to really recognise today, Pete. And we'll see if she can finish this. Oh, she's passed it off to Bishop. We'll see what Kootingal are going to try and do here. I think she's trying to get on that right foot, and couple snuffs that one out very well.
Good positioning there from Belinda Couples. She was right behind that one. Didn't pose too many threats for her. Obviously very experienced, racking up 100 games today.
Go, Shani.
Fantastic pass again for Zach Kennedy. Laura Jeffrey, sorry.
I think Kootingal quite happy to see that one go over for a corner once again. You can see Tamworth FC are really starting to use the width of the pitch, and girls like Shanti Kennedy certainly coming into their own.
Yeah, and we were just speaking before about the fact that we thought that Tamworth FC were playing a little bit too narrow and making it a little bit easy for the Kootingal defenders. They've changed that, and you see a corner fly in. There's an opportunity and a goal.
That was a real mistake by Pike. I thought she was certainly too close to the line. She needed to get herself out and really shut out the FC attacker there.
Yeah, it really just fell to Nicholson, who was only a couple of metres off the goal line and really just had to get any sort of contact on the ball. She did just that, and it rolls into the back of the net. And that's 2-2. You were dead right, Phil. This has been a half of two halves.
See straight away, Tony Taylor's trying to react, and he's making his five-man change again.
So Laura Jeffrey making way for Kayla Murray to come back onto the pitch. Jeffrey been really, really good in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Had a hand in everything. Scored one. Was instrumental in winning the corner for the second one. Really good shift. Well-deserved drink and a bit of a break.
We'll just see if this Kootingal side can now hit back, or if it's Tamworth FC will put their foot on the accelerator.
Kootingal here just need to try and get their midfield players just closer to the front two when they do get forward. The space between their front line and their midfield line just getting a little bit too big. And that comes from the back four, making sure that they're pushing their midfielders on so that they're a little bit more connected when the ball goes forward, and they can offer some support to the likes of Thompson when she's in possession.
See, Golges just awarded a free kick there. I believe it was a shove in the back. He was certainly talking to the players straight away, being very mindful of the hands-on approach from the girls.
Yeah, I didn't quite see myself. He's obviously seen something and got a better view than we do. Clear again.
It's actually been interesting since Taylor's made that change. The Kootingal sides seem to have gone a lot narrower, where we've seen the success on the width, and it'll be quite interesting if he identifies that and talks to the girls at half time as we approach the 40-minute mark.
Half-time can't come quick enough for Tony Taylor. He'd be liking getting the girls back into the sheds and having a good talk to them. Tamworth really on top at the moment, and they'll be looking to try and steal another one before they go into half-time. But the Kootingal girls, they've worked really, really hard. They've got themselves into a great position. At the moment, they'd just like to get in half-time at 2-2, consolidate, get some information for their coach and come back out and try and replicate what they did in the first section of this first half.
Well, sometimes, getting up to a 2-0 lead and then, having seen the scoreline at 2-2, it can certainly be deflating, especially for the young girls. But certainly, half-time can't come soon enough for Coach Taylor, so we'll see how he does react into the second half.
talked about how hot it is for the players out there, but there's one person in the stadium that's going to be even hotter, and it's whoever it is in the Cougar costume down on the bench. He or she will be absolutely boiling in there.
I'll give a quick shout out to my eldest daughter, Amy. Really nice work of you, darling, doing the Cougar suit for the Pink Girls.
You see a yellow card there for the Tamworth FC player, number 5. Just a mistimed tackle there, a little bit late. Deserved yellow card. Not too malicious. Good to see everyone's back up on their feet and ready to get on with the game.
Certainly shut out an attacking raid, so probably the yellow card was sufficient. The strike by Tamika Fruin, which we'll see go through for a goal kick. I'm now joined in the commentary box by the president of the Kootingal Cougars, and Noel, having known you for a number of years, I know you actually started coaching this Pink side. What's it mean to you for having the side in the grand final today?
Oh, thanks, Phil. Anybody that knows me just knows how passionate I am about junior soccer in our club, and particularly how passionate I am about female junior development. And back in 2015, we as a committee came up with the idea of forming the Pink Cougar side, which was basically junior girls giving the opportunity to play in the senior women's comp. For the 4 years that this side's been going, they have always proven time and time again that they not only deserve to be in the comp, but they've actually been very successful. And whilst at the start of the seasons they were always a little bit hesitant and nervous, by the end of the season they're fully confident knowing that they can compete with these the older girls out there, and it's something as a club we're so proud of.
One of the things Pete and I identified earlier is the fact that these girls traditionally have to play a couple of hours of football on a Saturday, so they tend to go the 12 o'clock time slot and then straight into the 1 o'clock time slot. Do you think that's going to work to an advantage today, given that they didn't have a beforehand game?
Oh, absolutely, mate, without a doubt, and especially on such a hot day like today. The girls kind of were basically given the choice of either playing straight away after their 12 o'clock game at 1 o'clock, or having a kind of bigger break and coming back at the 3 o'clock time slot. And obviously it's a lot more convenient for everybody just to stay at the ground and play straight away. But having said that, it obviously takes its toll. And I've said to so many people that these girls will be jumping out of their skin today, taking the field fresh. And we've got a big squad, and hopefully come this second half that will show, and the girls will come through just with sheer fitness and stamina.
Just noticed Coach Taylor, he's making another substitution here. He's bringing the captain Miller Thompson back on. She's been phenomenal in this first half.
As a club, all I can say is we've got some amazing players, and Miller Thompson is right up there. She's an incredible girl. She's one of the club's success stories, and she's such a worthy captain of that side. Like, she's just a true ambassador for the game on and off the field. And I'll tell you what, she was unlucky, that goal there that was called offside. Not saying it was a wrong decision, but I am saying it was an absolutely beautiful strike.
Yeah, no, she's certainly striking them well. She's quite a tall girl. She certainly used that to advantage, but her pace is something that's just been so evident. And there we go, we see a handball in the box. You think it'll be Thompson that... Yeah, it is going to be Thompson that steps up for this dot shot. We'll see how she takes this one.
Yeah, I think I'll just be quiet for 1 second.
It's all right, Noel. You need to roar and cheer. We'll let you roar and cheer on camera. She certainly hit that one hard, but we see it sail over the top of the bar.
Okay, just she needs to keep her head up and just keep going. Good things that come to people like that work hard and are patient and just keep doing their thing on the field.
I certainly believe if the Kootingal Pinks continue to take their chances, they're going to get results.
Yeah, I think, and I don't mean to be talking one-sided, like they seem to be dominating possession and field position out there. So just hopefully that will turn into results. So, yep, fingers crossed.
Thank you for your time, Noel. I'll let you get down the sheds with Coach Taylor and have a good chat to the girls at half-time.
Thank you, Phil, and I would just like to, before I go, congratulate NIF on such an awesome weekend here at Scully Park. It's been truly a great spectacle for the sport. Well done, mate.
Thanks, Noel. Cheers, mate.
Well, Phil, I think all the Kootingal fans probably like Noel to stay on the mic. Ever since he grabbed it, it's been nothing but attacking from the Kootingal side.
Yeah, I certainly believe so. We might have to call him back a few minutes ago, although I certainly believe Tamworth FC have put themselves right back in this match. As much as it's 2-2, they're certainly starting to play the brand of football we know they're capable of.
Good run and a decent strike at the end of that run. Just didn't quite get enough on it. That draws an end to the first half. Quite an entertaining first half. A really good spectacle of football. Chances galore. Early 2-0 lead taken by Kootingal. Tamworth fought their way back into the match and did really well to get back to a 2-2 situation. A late penalty miss by Miller Thompson. Could have seen it go 3-2 to Kootingal into the break, but it's not to be. And we see both sides go into the change rooms at 2-2.
Welcome back to today's fixture of the Women's Division 2 Grand Final here at Scully Park. Had a chat to both coaches real quick at half-time, and both, hit the nail on the head. Pete, they said they've got to play expansive, wide football if they're going to have any success here in the second half. It's certainly be interesting, the fitness levels of the girls for this second half. This pitch is certainly energy zapping, as we've already stated, but quite exciting for both teams here in the grand final at 2-2.
Yeah, and I'm sure both coaches would have really enjoyed the opportunity just to get the girls back in and be nice and cool in the change rooms underneath the grandstand here at Scully Park, and just settle the girls down, identify a few problems and talk their teams through how their best chances are going to be of taking this grand final out. It was a fantastic first half from a neutral's perspective. It was your comments were dead right, Phil. It was a half of two halves with Kootingal blowing away Tamworth FC early on, and then Tamworth, being the champions that they are, clawed their way back into the game and wrestled it back from Kootingal, got it back to 2-0, and a late penalty miss from this girl right here.
Come on!
And an absolutely fantastically taken goal. She has started where she left off in the first half. I was just about to say that she might be a little bit disappointed missing a penalty towards the end of the first half, but she shrugged that right off and started the second half with a goal. What a fantastic way to shake that one off, Phil.
Yeah, no, I just walking back into the tunnel to come up the lift to the commentary room, I bumped into Miller and she said, "I've got this." And she certainly showed that straight away. Just proud, young girl with immense pace. We've seen it all year for Kootingal. Jess on the right wing. She certainly controls that part of the ground really well and uses the pace to her advantage. And she's got that such long throw in that really assists the Kootingal strikers. We'll see how that all comes into play this afternoon.
Yeah, that'd be disappointing start for the Tamworth FC girls. They did so well to get themselves back into this game towards the end of that first half. They would have been really, really confident at half-time, getting back in and getting some instructions for their coaches, and to come back out here and straight away be back on the back foot for Miller Thompson's fantastically taken goal. We'll see what the reaction is. They need a reaction. They did it in the first half. They reacted really, really well to the blistering start. And looks like they've got to do a similar job in this second half to get back on level peggings.
Just looking down the coach and manager, and I've noticed Mr. Wayne Mays on the bench this afternoon for Tamworth FC. He's been in control of this side for a number of years. Him and Ian have worked very closely. Wayne stepped away to assist Mr. Bartlett with the Premier League first grade side, but there's some very experienced heads on the sideline for Tamworth FC in their coach and manager, and I'm certainly sure they'll be encouraging the girls to play that expansive play that was so successful in the latter part of the first half.
Yeah, well, if you look down at the bench, you wouldn't notice any signs of nerves at the moment from Tamworth FC. Coach Ian Slater down there, just enjoying a sandwich. So he doesn't see any nerves. He thinks this is still in control and just enjoying a bit of lunch.
No, I did just notice that, and knowing Ian, the odd sandwich now and then is never a bad thing. He's a very calm coach. He certainly lets the girls do what they've got to do, and he stays calm, but I certainly think he can inflict some advice when necessary. As we see Tamworth FC just making a break down the sideline, and once again it's Laura Jeffrey. She's been really, really strong for Tamworth FC.
Yeah, she was a real highlight in the first half, was Jeffries, as was Murray, who was really influential. But that last 10 or 15 minutes with Jeffries really, essentially, if you see a chance here,
Still on play. And that's shut out for a corner.
And that's a really great save from the goalkeeper. Got down low to a left-hand side. That was heading just to the inside of the post. I think it was from Kerry Harris. And the goalkeeper for Kootingal got down really well to a left-hand side. Showed some great agility to keep his side in front.
Crystal's the mature head of this team. She's the oldest player of the Pinks. She had an operation a couple of weeks ago, and it may have kept her out, but she's certainly here. She's played last couple of fixtures, and you know, she takes the odd run on the field, but she's more natural in goalkeeper. See that long ball once again. Miller Thompson certainly identifying, using Tamika Fruin's pace here. Be looking for a cross here, and well shut out by Belinda Couples there. It was a good line by Miller Thompson, just not enough strength in the cross. A nice through ball there from Lauren Jeffrey. Just sailed over the crossbar. It was a really nice hit from Fruin. She probably could have got a body a bit lower, but she really hit that one nice. Just no trouble for Couples as it sails over.
Yeah, probably, if anything, hit that one a little bit too well. Just going for the near post again. She had a little bit of luck earlier in the first half. Caught that one really, really well and just sailed over the apex of the crossbar and the near post.
Just want to give a quick shout out to the ball boys and girls for today's fixture. The high performance kids here in Tamworth have done a fantastic job over the senior fixtures this weekend. Having the 13 grand finals here at Scully, we're culminating here on Women's Day with the 2 matches. They've done a fantastic job.
Tamworth FC just happy to concede that throw, make sure that they're able to get their shape back, get a bit of composure.
Yeah, it's really going to be up to a few of their more mature heads in this team to get them back in this fixture. They're only the 1 goal down, and we've seen they've been able to come back from a 2 goal down deficit, so we'll see how they handle that here as we move forward in this game.
And again, the problem is going to become, we talked about the size of the pitch and the heat and all those effects that culminate in some fatigue for these girls. And as the game goes on, we're going to see some more situations like that where it's more and more difficult in those attacking and defending situations for players to be able to either provide support or provide cover. We just saw opportunity for Kootingal there, getting into the box. No players able to get in contact to provide some support, and it was left in a little bit of isolation to try and do something alone. Those opportunities are going to be more and more as this game goes on, you would think. Good cross.
See what, the fatigue's certainly starting to be evident, but there's a hit from Fruin, but Couples has that well covered once again.
Tamworth just seemed to have a few more numbers in that midfield space. You can see a couple of Kootingal players in the midfield just still walking back. Obviously fatigue starting to set in. So I wonder if the likes of Murray and Kennedy, just with their experience and ability to control that midfield, could start and take a bit of a toll on this game. You see another ball in behind.
Crystal Pike moved well to that one, but it's certainly, I think, going to be a feature of the latter part of this game, the long ball to try and put their team one-on-one with the keepers.
Thompson again in behind the defence. Isolated out here on the left-hand side. She's going to have to do something herself.
She put a through ball through there, but Fruin just didn't run the right line. However, she's put herself in an attacking position now.
Coach Tony Taylor has probably seen some of the things we've been talking about, Phil, and the fatigue and how difficult it is for his players to provide support to one another, and he's going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 changes.
He's certainly reacting to the fatigue level. Six changes in one hit.
I think
certainly might have an impact on this game for the next period of time.
I thought the Cougar was going to line up to see if she could get on the field as well.
I actually read a interesting post on Facebook from our referees director in Tamworth, Mr. Les Withers. He certainly questioning the eligibility of the number 1 for Kootingal in the Cougar. But yeah, great work there by the Cougars supporting, because it's certainly hot conditions, and I dare say they'd be sweating under that costume.
Absolutely no doubt about that. Jeffrey again just piercing the defence. A really good opportunity.
Well done by Pike there, and it's killed by Candide herself.
It's a really, really good save. Brave goalkeeping. It's Laura Jeffrey who made another really positive run through the heart of the defence, and things just opened up for her. She was about to shoot with the right foot, and Pike came sliding out. Brave goalkeeping and a really, really good effort to keep her team in front. Yeah,
it certainly was, Peter. Couldn't be more timely, but I've And there's a goal off the corner to Tamworth FC. She's hit that perfectly and Pike just got caught out of position. It's bounced over and hit the back of the net. I was going to say it couldn't be more timely, but I've just been joined by Premier League first grade winning coach and member of Tamworth FC, Mr. Greg Bartlett. Welcome.
Thanks, Phil. Pleasure to be here watching the ladies play today. It's a really good thing that they've got their own day for their grand final. And it's been quite exciting. So, 3-all. It's good to watch.
I think that's twice now. We've had the president of the Kootingal side in when they were dominating, and now Greg walks in the studio and Tamworth FC strike back.
And I'll send a message to the boys to get back down here to support the girls as well. So they'll be down here making a bit of noise, Phil, so it should be good for them.
Certainly must be very proud of the boys from yesterday's performance.
I am, Phil. It's as you know, we went down to 10 men after 17 minutes and played for approximately 50 minutes with 10 men and still were able to go away with the win. It's been a really good season, but they've worked for it, Phil. They've trained hard, they've played hard, so it's really pleasing.
Here we go. We've got the Kootingal clap going on. Quick shout out to my mate Phil Brook in Malaysia, who's a massive Canberra supporter, member of the Kootingal side. I certainly think that would have been his encouragement to do the Kootingal clap.
Magnificent facility here, Phil, for us to play our games on, and credit to NIF for having all the grand finals on since Thursday afternoon. It's a great thing that they've done.
Look, that's something that, since taking on the chairman's role in February this year, I've been very mindful of making sure that we really support our clubs and everything they do for the players and everything else, and this was ultimately the best way we could say thank you.
Phil, it's probably one of the best pitches, not only in this area, but New South Wales, because I remember when the Jets were here last year and they wanted to take it home with them, so that's a big credit to the West Entertainment Group and Northern England Football for playing the games here.
Yeah, look, we couldn't ask for a better pitch here in Tamworth. We're very spoilt, and we look to build our relationship with West Entertainment. We'll make sure that we certainly have more spectacles here on a regular basis.
It's a very seesawing account of Phil, going from one end to the other. The Kootingal seem to dominate, and then FC take it back down the other end.
Yeah, Peter and I really identified that the first half was I guess you'd say a half of two halves, but this second half we're starting to see it expand up. The fatigue levels increase, and we'll certainly see which side runs away with this one, Greg.
Phil, it's really pleasing to see number 3 for Tamworth FC, young Laura Jeffrey. She's Rob Jeffrey's daughter, and Jeffrey's been a long-time stalwart of Tamworth FC, and I can't tell you how proud he is of his daughter. And look as though FC are in with another chance, but they've played it wide.
Look, that's fantastic, and look, Laura's having a cracking game. Everything that's been, really, really attacking players come from her boot. She certainly playing that right wing role really, really well.
Phil, this is the first year playing football. She's a very good tennis player, but and she decided to play football this year, and I believe her sister's going to play next year, so that'll be another player for Tamworth FC, which will be exciting for the Jeffrey family.
Oh, that's fantastic, and knowing the club, I know how passionate you guys are about women's football, and you certainly build great things. You've had success early on, ever since the inception of the women's game, and it's full credit to the club having both divisions represented today by two FC sides.
And Phil, that comes from Wayne May has done a lot of work with the women, and Slats has carried on. The coach this year has carried on with both teams again this year, and it's great to see both ladies teams in the grand final.
I can get quite lonely as a women's coach sometimes, considering they predominantly play at 1 and 3 o'clock when the men are playing, and it's good to see both clubs really support women's football, and they're seeing their rewards today, as does North Companions, who'll be in this afternoon's fixture. It's really evident the three clubs that are really mindful of what they're doing with the women's game are the three being represented today.
FC have made a break again, Phil, down this end after a quick counter out of goal.
That one was well shut out, but they're still on the attack now. Now, you see these girls a fair bit at training, don't you, Greg?
Phil, we share a training pitch down at Gipp Street on Tuesdays and Thursday nights, and they're down there in good numbers training, so it's a credit to the numbers that get to training, and they work hard on their game.
She just missed that one off to the side.
Side netting. It's a real end-to-end affair, Phil.
Yeah, no, I don't envy the girls for this final 20-odd minutes because I certainly believe the fatigue level. I think the coaches really have to manage their bench as well. That wouldn't be your lot there going off in the background, would it, Greg, by chance?
No, I don't think so, Phil. I can't believe security have let them in.
I certainly believe you would have had a good celebration last night, Greg.
Yeah, he did, Phil. One of our sponsors was the West Entertainment Group, and we were up at the course up in East Tamworth, and we had a couple of beers between us, and we thought they behaved themselves, which was good, and they started again today, so it's been really good.
When you said start again today, I'm sure you're talking about a nice quiet breakfast over at West Leagues.
Yes, that's what we did. I think it was tea and scones or something like that, Phil. There's another opportunity.
She's just sprayed that one off to the right, but she's certainly putting herself in really good position. So what do you think Dean Slater has to do to finish this one off?
Probably just be a bit more calmer on the ball, Phil. They seem like panicking a little bit. They become a little bit calmer on the ball and maybe knock it around a little bit more. They'll have an opportunity. The opportunities will come for them because they've got plenty of pace up front. But Kootingal, the same thing. They've got plenty of pace up front because the game's going from end to end. Some great defending from Tamworth FC.
Yeah, both teams are well blessed with strikers, aren't they? And the pace that all four girls have.
Yeah, and that's an indication of the game, Phil. It's going from end to end. 1 minute they're up here at the Kootingal end, and then it's straight back down the other end.
There's a nice cross under the head of Thompson. She wasn't able to put that one towards goal. We'll see. Tamworth FC's done well to shut that away, and now they're on the counter-attack. Their breakdown on play, which continues Tamworth FC in the attack here. There's Kerry having a strike. Kerry Harris, she'd be one of the more mature heads of this side.
Yeah, one of the more mature people in the team, Phil. It's a shame some of the Tamworth FC first grade blokes haven't got a bit of maturity about them, but they're enjoying themselves in the crowd in the grandstand. It's a good crowd here too, Phil, from supporting both teams.
Yeah, it certainly is, Greg. Now, am I right in understanding that Kerry's daughters are both Brooke and Tash Harris?
That's correct. Brooke, I don't think Brooke's played a lot this year. She had a cracking 2 grand finals last year where she scored goals in both grand finals. So I think she'd be hoping to do the same thing, Phil. And we've got a break here now. And just what we mentioned about, we've got a one-on-one with the keeper.
She's finished that one well. That's a goal to Brooke Rowe.
Tamworth FC go up 4-3 with 20 minutes to go.
See Coach Taylor reacting straight away. He's gone straight to his bench and he's going to make a 4-man change.
Very warm too, Phil. It wouldn't help with the conditions that they are, so that's why they're probably making the changes to give the girls a break.
Yeah, no, I was having a chat to the match officials last night. They were telling me the calf muscles were burning. How were the boys on this size pitch?
Yeah, they're doing a bit of complaining today about soreness in their legs, and that had a fair bit to do with being down to 10 players, extra running they had to do, but it was all worth it in the end.
Yeah, and I certainly believe it'll be the same here for the women. I think we're going to have some sore bodies tonight.
And the way things are going, Phil, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to extra time, because they appear to be going in for end and goal for goal at the moment.
Well, this is the first time that FC's taken the lead in this match, so we'll see how Kootingal responds.
Young Laura Jeffrey doing a really good job dropping back in defence then.
Yeah, she's certainly been everywhere, hasn't she, today?
Len has plenty of pace, unlike her father. I think he'll laugh if he heard me say that, but Jeff is thrilled for her to be playing like she's playing.
No, she certainly had a great game.
I think she's also golden boot, Phil, for the reserve grade women competition as well in the first year playing.
Oh, congratulations to her. I wasn't able to make the Kootingal Awards night last night, but from what I hear, young Miller Thompson, who's already had a couple of attacking raids today, she won their golden boot, and be interesting to see the girls. As I said, we are certainly blessed here in Tamworth with a number of strikers, and we'll see how these girls run for the last 15-20 minutes.
It's a good quality of football both teams are playing, Phil. They're not scared to attack, but they're getting back in numbers in defence as well, which is pleasing.
You can see there the midfield's quite vacant as the fatigue sets in, Greg. It's certainly may well play into the more mature heads, or it may well go to the advantage of the Kootingal girls who, you know, as we've said earlier, do play traditionally 2 games on the Saturday.
And the length of the field too, Phil. I think it's Pete Matter told me on Friday, it's 113 metres, so it's bigger than what they normally would be playing on. So the length of the field will take in with the work they have to do end-to-end football like they're playing. So it'll be taking a toll on them within the next 15 minutes. Kootingal have got their chant going on the left-hand side of the grandstand, trying to gee their girls up, and they're making another raid into the top end of the... And it's worked for them because they've gone back forward.
Yeah, Greg, looks to be Daniel Bishop. Nice little finish under the bottom left-hand corner there. And this game just goes back and forth. I was just about to say, after I was going to say congratulations from yesterday's victory, that as soon as I get on the microphone, the goals go missing, so don't expect too much. But this time, it's a little bit different. I've grabbed the mic and Kootingal have put one in the net, so sorry about that, mate.
No, that's okay. It's just great that the women are playing at this facility, and the day's all about the women, so it's a great game. It's end-to-end stuff, which is good. Good for the crowd. I don't know too much about the coaches would be too enthused about it, but and we're going again now at the bottom end at the pool end with Tamworth FC.
You've hit the nail on the head there, Greg. I'm sure that you wouldn't have been too happy if it was a 4-all draw with 15 to go last night. It's not the best for the stress levels for the coaches, but it's certainly good for all of the neutrals in the crowd, and I'm loving this performance from both teams.
Great entertainment for the crowd, and the Kootingal crowd at the moment appears to be the loudest. They got them up. There's a free kick being given away by Tamworth FC.
Yeah, one of the few free kicks we've seen in the game has been played in really good spirits and well officiated from the young man. Probably only been 2 or 3 free kicks in the whole game.
Yeah, that's correct, and it's great to see the young guys being the officials and being given the opportunity to be the officials for the game as well on an occasion like this.
Yeah, absolutely right. It's definitely, it's a celebration for them today just as much as the players, and doing a really good job. We've hardly mentioned his name, no disrespect to him, but it's the old adage that if the referee can kind of go unnoticed, he's probably had a good game.
Yeah, that's correct. If he's not taking any notice of him and taking notice focus of the game. He's doing a good job.
A long throw. He's struggling to get hold of the ball here, Kootingal.
Cleared out of the box by young Laura Jeffrey. The Tamworth FC is now breaking through as well.
No, I was saying, someone's just copped one in the head there. Hopefully she's okay. The referee stopped the game. He did see the player down who was clutching at her head, and Tamworth were on the attack, but rightly so from the referee. Thought there might have been some type of head injury and stopped the game. Definitely can't complain with that one. I was singing her praises in the first half, Laura Jeffries, and I was just standing off to the side as you and Phil were talking. And did you mention it was her first year playing football this year?
Yeah, this is her first year in playing football. She has been a very good tennis player for a number of years, but she decided to have a go at football this year, and she's doing a fabulous job.
That is phenomenal. Obviously a top athlete. She's a good tennis player, but as we see Kootingal venture into the penalty area again. A good piece of defending and earn a goal kick. Yeah, obviously a great athlete, but I've been impressed with it today. Not just the work rate, but the first touch has been really good, and the composure. She made a fantastic run in the first half, overlapping down the right-hand side, got into the box one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and just passed it into the net. And she just looks a really composed player, and she looks like a footballer.
Yeah, she does. And something you can't coach into somebody's pace, and Laura's got plenty of pace, which probably makes the job a lot easier with the pace that she's got. And it's amazing the amount of improvement that she's made in the short time that she's been playing.
Yeah, really good story. Hopefully she's enjoyed a year of football, and it's not going to be a last, because I definitely think that she's got a bit of a future in the game, and I'm sure that Tamworth FC would be keen to keep hold of her.
Yeah, no, I don't think she'll be going anywhere. We'll be happy to keep hold. And like I mentioned earlier, I think her sister's going to play next year as well, which will be a great thing for Rob and Shell Jeffrey.
Fantastic.
Got the Kootingal chant going again in the grandstand.
And I'll tell you what, I travelled up from Newcastle yesterday morning. I was in the car at 5:45, make sure that I got here in time to watch all of the games yesterday. And one thing that's really stuck out for me is we see a shot on target. That's Miller Thompson. Has snuck one in underneath the Tamworth FC goalkeeper, making it 5-4, would you believe?
That's at the back. Well finished by the Kootingal players, so they go 5-4 up with 11 and a half minutes to go.
Yeah, Belinda Couples just got herself in a little bit of a tangle there. She was really good earlier in the first half, made a couple of good saves. She'd probably want an opportunity at that one again. It just kind of slipped under her body a little bit and couldn't wrangle it back in before it snuck into the net. But I don't think this game is dead and buried by any stretch of the imagination. 5-4 to Kootingal FC with 11 minutes to go. If you're a betting man, you'd probably bet on more goals, Greg.
I think so. The way the game's going end to end like it is, I'm sure there'll be at least a couple more to come out of the game before it's finished.
And it's a nice little ball in behind the defence again. Just rolling a little bit too quickly to the goalkeeper, who's been very good as well. Name's just escaped me. I'll get back to that, but she has been very good, coming off the line nice and quickly, made a couple of really important saves, and another one just then.
She was quickly off the line that time to make a crucial save in that passage of play.
We spoke about the celebrations. Well, you spoke about celebrations with Phil just before, Greg. But what's the off-season hold in store for you, and when do you look to look towards next season?
It would be good to have a break, because it's been pretty intense. We started training in the middle of January in the heat, obviously, and we've been right through now to nearly the end of September. So a couple of months break, and then we'll start again, because it's going to be a very hard thing to do to back up the season that we've had this year. But I don't think we'll lose too many, if any, players at all, and maybe add a couple to our two squads. So we're really looking forward to next year, trying to back up what we've done this year.
That's fantastic, and it's so important to retain those players, isn't it? I mean, a couple of players that I was watching yesterday were, you've got a really good bunch on your hands there, and to make sure that you don't lose some of those more influential players is going to be key to his future success, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's correct, and we've got some great young players coming through too. In the club at Tamworth FC, we've put a lot of emphasis on the young guys, and we've got Donnie Lewington and Glenn Boonstra who are being very good with the young players.
Run down the right-hand side there by Kayla Murray, who's been one of Tamworth's best again today. She doesn't look like she's playing in the heat out there. She's continued the energy that she had early in the first half.
Also plenty of pace down that right-hand side with her and young Laura as well.
Absolutely. I was just going to mention, as you're talking about your Tamworth FC team, and don't want to harp on too much about the men because we're here on the women's grand final day, but as we see this corner slung in. Oh, there's a good header. It's gone out for another corner. But the one thing people probably don't take into account or don't appreciate is we talk a lot about this being community football or football in a regional area, but the amount of hours and the commitment that it takes to play football at that level and to get success like Tamworth FC did yesterday, it's considerable, isn't it, Greg?
Yes, it is. We train, and like most other clubs, we train twice a week, and then the time you put into planning your game plan for each team. I've taken each team. I haven't got ahead of myself all year. I've only worried about the team we had for the next week. So, and trying to change training around so it keeps the guys interested. There's nothing worse than doing the same thing week in, week out, and that's what we tried to do, is change things around so the guys were interested, keep them keen, and keep them coming back week after week. And obviously, winning makes it a lot easier than if you get beaten week in, week out, makes it tougher for training. But that was the main focus on what we did all year, was to keep the guys interested and make training interesting for them.
We've certainly done that, mate, and got the rewards on a fantastic day yesterday, so congratulations again. As we see the women's team trying to emulate what the men did yesterday. They're a goal down with 7 minutes to go, but they're on the attack now again. It's an opportunity for Jeffries.
Keeper was very quick off the line again to snuff that passage of play out as well.
Oh, she gets down very, very well. Not afraid to come out and smother the ball. A couple of really important saves in the last 5 or 6 minutes to keep Kootingal ahead.
The seesawing effect of the game continues because we're back in Tamworth FC's end this time with Kootingal in possession again.
Yeah, and you think we saw a couple of games similar yesterday. There was not so many goals as this one, but it's definitely the momentum changing a lot. And while the surface out there is probably second to none across New South Wales, the length of the pitch, you mentioned 113 metres, it just creates so much space between the lines, doesn't it? And I think it's really having an effect on some of the teams struggling to manage that.
Yeah, I think that they get too disjointed. As you can see now, they've got a big gap in the middle of the park, and that's where all these breaks keep coming from. And it makes it difficult because if you're used to playing a much shorter pitch, it's hard to adjust to it. But the girls are doing a great job. They're knocking the ball around well, and here we go with another break. The passage to play around halfway.
As Greg just moves on to go and join the rest of his Tamworth FC cheer squad. Congratulations again to Greg and the Tamworth FC club for a wonderful grand final series. It's not finished yet, of course. They've got the rest of this match and another game coming up. But joining us is General Manager of Northern Inland Football, Julia Farina. How you going, Julia?
I'm well, Pete. How are you?
Very, very well. You're looking very fresh for a woman who hasn't had a whole lot of sleep over the last few days. Organising and managing the Newcastle Permanent Grand Final Series.
It's been fantastic.
You happy with it so far?
So far it's great, and as you can hear the crowd, it's awesome. Lots of chanting and cheering going on for these Div 2 final. It's great.
Absolutely. Well, I'm sure a lot of people have said this to you already, but just congratulations again to Northern Inland, to yourself and your team. You know, everyone I've spoken to at the ground yesterday and today, and you know, a couple of people I've spoken to around town. As we see an opportunity there, and it's a penalty. A great header from, was it Murray again, who's been really influential. And unfortunately, we've seen a red card there for the Kootingal player who can't quite catch the number for the handball on the goal line, which led to the penalty and an opportunity now for Tamworth FC to level the game at 5-5, and they do just that. Yeah, so Julia, I was just mentioning the number of people around town who are just so excited about, you know, having all of the grand finals at this magnificent venue, something that hasn't been done.
Yes, the excitement on the players, the match officials, the coaches, the managers, and obviously all the spectators. It's been fantastic to showcase the football talent in the region. Oh, look, the opening game, the under-12s, I would have to say on Thursday evening, we had nearly a full grandstand here. It holds about 750 people. For under-12s games, that was a fantastic way to start. And to finish, obviously, our big main game, the Premier League game, yesterday, which we had a fantastic crowd and build-up for. And then the top off the night, we had the Gunnedah v Kooringal.
The goalkeeper. It's David Winston from the team. Fantastic. Number 2 to save.
Yeah, so I was just mentioning that the Kooringal game was a fantastic spectacle. The last game of the night last night, and a really, really enjoyable game of football to watch, as is this one. We talk about important football games. So there's Miller Thompson, opportunity. She has slotted it into the bottom left-hand corner to make it 6-5 with 2 minutes to go. The Purple Army in front of me, travelling from Kootingal, there's not a person still in their seats. They're up, they're cheering. They're a woman down, but they lead this match 6-5. Amazing stuff, Julia.
It's fantastic. Look, the atmosphere is awesome. The chanting starting again. They're getting behind their team. Look, FC has had a fantastic year this year, both in the men's and the women's. But Kootingal today is showing them they've got it what it takes too.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We talked about important games before, and you've got an important game coming up.
Yes.
You're not dressed for it at the moment. You're still in your corporate attire, but you're about to go down and get changed and join the rest of your team because you're playing grand final as well.
That's right. I get to actually play on this fantastic pitch that we're looking at today. It's going to be pretty exciting. I think I'm going to be very tired this afternoon.
Magnificent. Now, I envy you in one sense. I love grand final day. I'd love to be out on that pitch, but I certainly wouldn't like to be on the playing in midfield, covering all of those metres, which you're about to do. And as all of these girls have done, it's a beautiful sunny day for watching football. Hopefully you've been hydrating.
Yes, all day. It's been a bit nervous actually. Yes, the length of the field is quite big, but the pitch looks fantastic.
I'll tell you what, if nothing else, it makes for exciting football. We've seen plenty of goals. Not as many before as this match. 6-5 with another shot. Little dribble through to the Tamworth FC goalkeeper. Seconds to go on the clock, counting down. You can hear the Kootingal Army clapping and chanting. They're wishing the referee to put that whistle up to his mouth and blow full time. It's not quite there. It can't be too far off. Julia, what a game.
It's fantastic. It's the first women's game of the day. That's awesome.
If this is anything to go by, we've got a lot to live up to in the next game. There's a bit of confusion
the Kootingal players actually thought the whistle had gone for full time, and a couple started to run on the field, and Tamworth FC now have a chance to attack down the left-hand side. Well, you wouldn't bet on the game being over, even though it is full time. We're in added time at the moment. But you wouldn't bet on anything in this game. It's had it all. Tamworth, one last attack, you would think. There's Jeffrey involved. He's been fantastic today. Thompson just getting caught in the corner. She won't mind that. It's a throw-in for Kootingal. She's been immense today, Miller Thompson. Certainly someone with a bright future in the game, Julia. She looks a real player.
Yeah, the women's competition, we have 10 teams currently across Tamworth competition. It's fantastic this year. Mixture of clubs, a mixture of ages.
Unbelievable. And girls teams right from the youngest mini-roos from 4 and 5 years old right through to these senior divisions. It really is. The sport for women in Northern Inland really is in a good place, isn't it?
We have about 25% of our players are women in this region, so it's fantastic and great for the future.
Absolutely. I'm not
I think
sure
everyone's
if
on
you
this.
can still hear us. The Purple Army is going crazy. It's such a good atmosphere here at Scully Park. Can hardly hear ourselves think. And the roar is about to get a whole lot bigger.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Another goal for Kootingal. Number two, Tamika Thuan finishes the game with a goal. The referee signals full time. The match ends 7-5.
Wow.
Julia, any final thoughts before you need to probably rush off and
That's
get
right,
your football kit on?
That's right, I've got to go get my boots on, but no, fantastic start to the day.
Look, again, congratulations to Northern Inland Football, yourself, all of your team. It's been a wonderful few days. All the best in your grand final.
Thank you, Keith.
And thank you from everyone in the football community. What you've done over the last few days is really amazing, and I'm sure everyone appreciates it.
Oh, it's just great to be part of it.
As Julia, she jogs out of the commentary box down to the dressing sheds to get ready for her very important match, which is coming up very soon. But what a game we've just seen. Kootingal FC 7 have defeated Tamworth FC 5 in one of the most enjoyable and entertaining matches you are likely to see. We get ready for another one. We're not quite done. We've got the Tamworth Women's Division 1 match coming up, and hopefully you can stick around and join us for that one very, very soon. Division 2 finishes Kootingal FC 7, Tamworth FC 5.